They thought the flames would swallow you whole. They thought the collapse of every bridge behind you would trap you in the ruins they left behind. They thought the smoke would blind you, the ashes would bury you, and the silence, oh, the silence, would finish what their betrayal began. But here you are, breathing, standing, watching the last sparks die out behind you, and for the first time, you realize something they never expected you to understand. You never needed their bridges. You were born to build roads. They tossed you into the shadows with a smile. They closed doors that were never theirs to close. They whispered lies behind your back, thinking their words were strong enough to chain your future. They'll never rise from this, they said. They'll never recover. Oh, if only they knew who they were dealing with. Because every time they tried to bury you, they forgot something important. You weren't soil. You were fire, and fire doesn't get buried. Fire burns its way back to the surface. They expected your story to end in that moment. They expected you to crumble under the weight of disappointment, heartbreak, and betrayal. They expected you to drown in the chaos they created, like you were too fragile to survive the storm they summoned. They thought the bridge they burned was your only way forward. But reality had a different script. Instead of falling apart, you paused. Instead of crying out, you inhaled. Instead of running backward, you planted your feet into the earth and said quietly, "Watch me." They thought burning bridges would leave you stranded. They didn't realize you were already searching for open land, ground untouched, space where you could build something stronger than anything they ever gave you. They were betting on your fear, but they underestimated your vision, because while they were celebrating your downfall, you were already drawing blueprints in the dust. You didn't rise overnight. You didn't transform in a moment. No, it was slower than that, harder than that, more painful than anything they will ever know. You had nights when your own reflection felt like a stranger, days when you questioned if maybe they were right about you, hours wrapped in doubt, in exhaustion, in that quiet ache that comes when the world feels too heavy to hold. But beneath all that pain, something else was forming, quiet at first, like embers buried under cold ash, but still alive. There were moments when you felt a different kind of fire growing in your chest, one they didn't plant and couldn't extinguish. It was the fire of realization that every loss was actually an invitation, realization that every betrayal was a lesson wrapped in razor wire, realization that every burned bridge was a push, forcing you not backward, not downward, but forward. You learned to walk through the flames without flinching. You learned to stop asking for permission. You learned that the world is built by those who refuse to stay where they were abandoned. And somewhere between the tears you hid and the victories you earned, you discovered a truth that rewired your soul. You were never meant to cross their bridges. You were meant to pave your own path, step by step, breath by breath, scar by scar. Your transformation wasn't loud. It wasn't glamorous. It was real. It was raw. It was yours. And then, something happened. They started noticing. They saw the way you carried yourself differently. They heard the silence where your dependence used to be. They felt the distance you built, not out of spite, but out of necessity. They saw you rise from the smoke they confidently walked away from. And suddenly, they weren't celebrating anymore. They were confused, startled, uneasy. Because according to their story, you weren't supposed to survive. According to their script, you were supposed to remain broken, bitter, begging for a way back onto their bridge. Did they really think you'd stay down forever? Did they really believe they had that kind of power over your life? Did they truly imagine that you would freeze in place without their approval? They underestimated you, not because you were weak, but because they never saw your strength to begin with. Their shock wasn't about your success. It was about realizing they never really knew you at all. This is the part where the power shifted. Their whispers turned into silence. Their confidence turned into doubt. Their arrogance turned into fear. You became the reminder of everything they tried and failed to destroy. You became living proof that you cannot burn someone who was born from fire. Now the road building begins. Not the fragile bridges of the past, not the temporary roots held together by approval and convenience, but roads carved into mountains, roads paved through storms, roads built from your resilience, vision, and grit. Each road is a testament, one built from discipline, one built from clarity, one built from independence, one built from self-respect, one built from the decision to stop chasing people who don't know how to value you. These weren't roads given to you. They were roads earned, and as you build them, something else happens. You stop caring, not in the bitter, hardened way people expect, but in the liberated, peaceful, elevated way they fear. You stop needing explanations. You stop defending your worth. You stop waiting for apologies that were never coming. You reach a level of peace that becomes your greatest revenge. Because there is nothing more threatening to people who tried to break you than watching you walk forward without looking back. And with every mile you pave, you rise higher, higher through your discipline, higher through your healing, higher through your courage, higher through the realization that you no longer need them, their validation, or their permission. This is the moment they never prepared for. This is the moment their stories fall apart, their narratives collapse, their assumptions burn in the same flames they set for you. Because here you stand, unrecognizable from who you were, stronger, sharper, calmer, wiser. You are the version of yourself they hoped would never exist. The version that doesn't need saving, the version that doesn't chase, the version that doesn't fold under pressure, the version that doesn't return to what broke them. You are unstoppable not because you are perfect, but because you survived what was meant to destroy you. You are powerful not because you never felt pain, but because you learned how to turn pain into purpose. You are free not because life became easier, but because you learned to walk away from what made it harder. They burned bridges to limit you, but you built roads to free yourself. And nothing terrifies them more than seeing you walk a path they can't follow. Now breathe. This is your moment, your chapter, your life, your road. The bridges behind you are gone, and that's exactly where they belong. You're not meant to go back. You're not meant to shrink. You're not meant to apologize for rising. You are meant to move forward, with clarity, with strength, with fire, with purpose. Let them watch. Let them wonder. Let them whisper. Their opinions built nothing for you. Your determination built everything for you. Remember this truth. They burned bridges, but you built roads. And roads don't end where bridges fall. They begin there. Now go. Walk forward. Run forward. Rise forward. Your future is waiting at the end of the road you build next. They thought distance would weaken you. They thought silence would silence you. They thought if they stepped away, your world would collapse the way theirs would have. But the truth? Their absence became your awakening. Because once the noise faded, once the distractions dissolved, once every false friend and hidden enemy disappeared from your path, you finally heard something louder than all their opinions combined. Your own voice. A voice that had been waiting, patiently, quietly, behind years of doubt, pain, and hesitation. A voice that had been silenced by expectations, overshadowed by betrayal, drowned by the weight of wanting to be understood. But now that voice rises. Now that voice echoes. Now that voice becomes the rhythm of your new beginning. And that beginning didn't happen when they left. It happened when you stopped chasing. See, you didn't lose anything. You didn't lose people. You lost illusions. You didn't lose opportunities. You lost distractions. You didn't lose love. You lost conditions disguised as love. Everything that left because it couldn't stay at the level you were rising to. Roads don't need approval. They need direction. They need momentum. They need courage. And you, whether you know it yet or not, are momentum in human form. You've become someone they never expected, someone who doesn't beg for answers, someone who doesn't cling to the past, someone who knows exactly who they are, even when the world tries to tell them otherwise. They thought burning bridges would leave you stuck, but with every step forward, you proved something they were afraid to admit. Your progress never depended on them. And now, as you walk this new road, something incredible happens. You stop remembering them with anger. You stop replaying the moments that broke you. You stop giving them space in your mind, your heart, your future, because peace isn't found when everything around you stops hurting. Peace is found when you decide that hurt no longer controls you. You've grown in ways they'll never understand, because growth requires honesty. Growth requires accountability. Growth requires facing yourself in the quiet moments and choosing to rise anyway. They aren't built for that, but you are, and that scares them more than anything else. It scares them that you no longer respond the way you used to. It scares them that you don't break the way they expected. It scares them that the versions of you they tried to keep locked in the past no longer exist. You're evolving too fast for their comfort. You're healing too deeply for their presence. You're expanding beyond the limits they placed on you out of fear, envy, or smallness. Because here's the truth. Some people don't want to see you win, not because you don't deserve it, but because they're terrified of what your victory reveals about their own choices. Your discipline exposes their excuses. Your courage exposes their comfort. Your growth exposes their stagnation. And that's why they tried to stop you. Not because they hated you, but because they feared what you were becoming. A threat, a reminder, a reflection of every dream they abandoned. But you kept going anyway. And that's what makes you unstoppable. Not your strength, but your continuation. Not your perfection, but your persistence. Not your victories, but your refusal to quit when the world gave you every reason to. You built not just roads, but revolutions inside yourself. You built clarity where confusion lived. You built discipline where fear once ruled. You built self-love where emptiness tried to take over. You built vision where doubt tried to cloud your path. This is why your future is different from theirs. This is why your destiny unfolds while theirs repeats. This is why your story rises while theirs stays stuck on the same page. You didn't climb out of the fire to become who you used to be. You climbed out to become who you were always meant to be. And that version of you? Fearless, focused, untouchable. A version that understands. They burned bridges. But you built roads that don't just lead somewhere, they lead everywhere. So keep walking, keep creating, keep rising, keep building, because your road, your journey, your destiny has only just begun.